Hello guys, and thanks for tuning in. In today's video I want to talk about this new limited edition promo card from the TCG Flesh and Blood. Yesterday I made a 23 minutes video about it and I realized that it's probably too long for most people. So what I want to do in this video is to give brief explanations about the artwork, the text and a few other things. And the first thing you need to know is that this card is no other than Fate Foreseen, which is a generic defense reaction from Arcane Rising. Lets you defend for 4, cost 0, has a pitch value of 1 and lets you opt for 1, which means that you can look at the top card of your deck and put that card at the bottom if you want. So technically speaking, this promo card is not a new card, it does not introduce a new mechanic to the game. However, what's new is the artwork and the language, and I'm now going to say something about both. So what you see being depicted here is a divination method from traditional Chinese culture known as Zhejiao. And Zhejiao basically means to throw the blocks. The blocks I'm referring to are the blocks you see being depicted here in the hands of a person. They are known in Chinese as Jiaobei and in English as moon blocks. So Zhejiao is the practice of Jiaobei, okay, where you use moon blocks for divination. And what I'm going to do now is to give you explanation about that divination method. In order to do so, I have here with me 2 moon blocks, so I'm going to set this aside and I'm just going to cover the 3 steps of the divination method and let you know how to interpret the answers. So the first thing you have to do is, well, usually you go to a temple, you take the moon blocks and you purify them with incense. The second step is you hold the moon blocks within your hands like this, okay, and you kneel down in front of the gods or in front of your ancestors' representation. You say your name, your date of birth, sometimes your address, and most importantly, you ask a question. Okay, this is a divination method, so you have to ask a question, typically a yes or no question. And once everything is done, you give your information. The last step consists in dropping the moon blocks onto the floor of the temple. And this is what's interesting now, is that depending how the moon blocks land, this corresponds to an answer from the gods. In order to understand the answers, you have to pay attention to the moon blocks. They have one flat side and one round side. And the first answer is known as the divine answer. That is, this answer corresponds to a yes, and the moon blocks have to land like this, this, or so. What matters is that you have one flat side on the top and one round side on the top. It doesn't matter whether they're pointing towards the left or the right. What matters is which side is up. So this is a yes. The next answer is known as the angry answer. And this is when both round sides of the moon blocks are facing up. In this case, the answer is a categorical no. The third answer is known as the laughing answer. And the laughing answer is quite interesting. I will explain to you why this is called so. It's when you have both flat side facing on top. And here the interpretation usually is that the gods, the divinities and so on are laughing at the question you're asking, and probably because you already know the answer. And here why it's called the laughing answer is because when the moon blocks drop on the floor and land in that position with their flat sides up, they will be swinging for a short amount of time, which looks like someone laughing at you. The last answer is usually interpreted as a non-answer, and it's quite difficult to obtain. I mean, the chances of this happening are very slim. Basically, you have 1 or 2 blocks standing, so this is something like that. So usually, if this is what you have, well, you have to repeat the process all over again, but some masters, or according to some traditions, they interpret that as a sign of a miracle. So that is, if you have this position, for instance, when you throw the moon blocks, well, you will have all the blessings from the gods, your ancestors, and the divinities, and they will help you in whatever you're trying to achieve. Now you know the basics about the divination method. I would just want to take a look at the card again. So let me just give a proper focus here with the card. Okay, so one other thing you need to know about the artwork here is that you have what looks like two Chinese characters, but it's actually one Chinese character, and that character is Fu, and Fu means something like blessing or good fortune. So this is something like some kind of an Easter egg here on the red lantern. So now you know the basics about the artwork, and I just want to say something about the text. So as I said before, everything as far as the gameplay is concerned is the same. The only difference there is with the English version, is the flavor text. So let's take a look at the English version for a second. The flavor text says something like, okay, should you wish to see the future, know this. What has been seen cannot be unseen. Credits to Vera. Okay, so this is for the English version. And now what's going on here with the Chinese version? Well, I'm still learning Chinese, so sorry if the pronunciation is bad. I will try to do my best to read it and explain it to you. So this reads as 来个上上签吧, which means grant me the best divination stick or the best divination slip. And the credit is due to traditional fortune teller, traditional Chinese fortune teller culture. Okay, so what is this all about with this fortune stick? Well, this refers to another divination method in traditional Chinese culture, where you go to the temple and you pick a random stick or piece of paper in order to have like an answer or to have guidance. What you can do sometimes is to pick a stick, a divination stick first, and then practice Jiaobei, the moon blocks, in order to know whether the stick you picked is good for you or not. So that's it. You know the basics behind this card, behind the artwork, what it means, what the flavor text is all about, and what's written on the lantern here. And this is a very special promo card. It's difficult to obtain. You have to apply via a Facebook page, as I did. I received this card because I'm a content creator for Flesh and Blood on Instagram. I will put the link below if you want. And to conclude this video, what I want to do is to say a big thank you to Flesh and Blood Asia for giving me the opportunity to present this card to the English-speaking world. I mean, it's one thing to see the card, it's in a different language for international players, but if you don't have a traditional Chinese cultural background, it's kind of hard to understand what's going on. And that's what I try to do here in this video, to give you a brief explanation about it so you know better about this card, the artwork, and its meaning. Also, a nice thing is that, as you already have guessed, the mechanic opt just corresponds to a kind of divination in the game. So people who practice Jiaobei, they want to know something about their future. And when you play Fate Foreseen in a game, it's basically what you want to do with the card. Okay, you want to look at the top card of your deck and know what's going on and to decide your fate. So it's really a very nice way from Legend Story Studios to combine a very important aspect of traditional Chinese culture with an important mechanic of their game, Flesh and Blood. So thanks to Flesh and Blood Asia for giving me the opportunity to do this. I don't know if Flesh and Blood Asia is the same entity as the people from who sent me the card, which is Fable, the official distributor for Flesh and Blood in Asia. In any case, thank you very much for sending me the card. It's absolutely awesome. I hope more things like that will happen in the future to help grow the game. And I hope that that with this explanation, this card, you learn something about Flesh and Blood, about the game, about traditional Chinese culture. I don't know when will be my next video, what it will be. Just leave me some suggestions in the comments, and I hope you have an awesome day. Good luck for your tournaments and take care. I'm just going to show you the foiling a bit closer now to conclude this video. Thank you so much for watching. Stay tuned, and thanks for everything.